Oh yeah, here we go. Obviously shredded that.
No shit.
Okay guys, it's Hank from Norarm Tactical, and we're here in the beautiful Lake Ontario. I'm here with and we're going to kind of go over this plate carrier. This is a Russian plate carrier with steel armor and soft armor on the sides. And with their experience, they're going to kind of break this down for us. So guys, take it away.
Thank you. You have a lot more experience or a lot more knowledge when it comes to like Russian equipment, especially like plates and armor. So if you'd mind taking this off.
Yeah. So this is actually, well, it is a standard Ratnik gear plate carrier. The plates are not standard. The normal specification for the Russian military are the granite plates, which are ceramic, and actually, while very heavy, can stop some very spicy rounds. The issue is a lot of those got sold off on like eBay and stuff like that, so Russian Mobics end up with this steel armor.
I mean, for reference, I know a lot of our guys who've actually captured Russian equipment who prefer the granite plates. So you'll sometimes see like Ukrainians or foreigners fighting on the Ukrainian side running granite plates instead of like issued ESAPs.
Okay, gotcha. So is this kind of like a hot commodity then? Is that like something that you're going to take?
When it comes to plates, I mean,
if they're actual granite plates, it's worth considering.
Yeah.
But if it's these, it's garbage. Steel plates are not good. It is a great way to get little pieces of bullet in your neck, and they do not stop armor-piercing rounds.
Gotcha.
They just don't.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's something that we are going to test today. We're going to shoot this thing with several different types of ammunition and see actually how it holds up.
So when you open the plate carrier up, you can see that the soft armor package is actually sewn around the steel plate. This should help with ricochets and fragment protection a little bit, but it's not well made, and it tends to be very loose, so at least looking at it from the outside, I do not believe it would be particularly comfortable to wear. Yeah, and this is how much
Yeah, no.
alleged rifle threat protection you get, if
You know,
that gives you an idea of maybe half or 2/3 at most the size of like a normal SAPI plate.
So you're not covering a lot of the vitals.
No, like I imagine this is sitting somewhere around here, so you're not getting as high up to the sternum, and you're not getting protected as low on the torso.
Okay, and ballistically, why would someone ever have a steel plate versus a ceramic?
Because the person buying their equipment is cheap and sold off all of the good stuff they were supposed to have, and then pocketed some of the money, and then spent the rest on buying the bare minimum, so the record books would show that there's still armor plates.
Okay, and also ballistically, if you get shot with anything, with a steel plate versus a ceramic, what would the difference be in terms of surviving that?
I'd say it's lower. Something like this is not going to stop a steel core like 7.62, 54R, or 51. And you will get spalling, so you'll get fragments of bullet being deflected up either into your neck or into the guy next to you. Basically, this, in theory, would not even stop normal 5.56 ball ammo out of a 20-inch barrel. And there are Ukrainians that are using like Colt C7s and M16A4s. So that, at a close enough range, would actually go right through this.
So I had the chance to test some Russian body armor. It was steel plate. It was some of that old like VDV body armor. You know, the one with like, it's the plate that's like curved in this weird,
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I had a chance to shoot at that with 5.45, and you know, you mag dump full auto, and it's just Spalding, right?
Okay.
So I would be interesting to see what some SS109 or some steel penetrator does to that out of 5.56. I'm pretty sure 7.62 is going to go straight through, but
I mean, it's 7.62 ball ammo is not going as fast as 5.56, and especially with steel, it's the speed that gets through it. So it'll probably stop 7.62 NATO, but
well, I mean, there's one way to find out, right?
Absolutely, we're going to test that out. I'm curious though, based on distance, obviously distance of lethality of your weapon is coming into play, as well as your barrel length and your muzzle velocity. I'm guessing, I mean, I don't know meters yet, but I'm assuming we're probably what,
25.
25 meters away. So
Okay.
that should be a good test to see how this thing holds up.
One thing to note, if you look at a lot of body armor that's designed around steel plates, they usually have like neck protectors to protect from spalding, right? This plate carrier, as far as I can see, has no neck protection. So if you are taking around to the steel plate there, yeah,
It's in front of the Kevlar, so yeah, it's just gonna go right up into your neck.
Mhm.
yeah,
So not exactly the smartest method.
Yeah.
cheap, easy to mass produce.
You can check a box on the form that says yes, we gave him body armor as we are required to do by law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
So should we shoot this thing or what?
absolutely.
All right, so we're at the flat range now, and we're about 15 meters away from the pumpkins that we have with the body armor around it. We're gonna work our way up, starting at 22, then 9mm, and then you can kind of explain what kind of special 9mm we have today to kind of test that out.
Yeah. So to make things a little bit more interesting, we got our hands on these brass rounds that were manufactured in France quite a while ago. I do not know the exact weight on the bullet, but allegedly they are supposed to do 2,600 feet per second out of a normal handgun, and they are ostensibly very barrier blind. So I'm curious to see what these will do on the armor.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. What do you guys think is gonna happen as we go through this?
I think the armor is probably going to stop everything until we get to rifle rounds.
Yeah.
I'll be pleasantly surprised if this goes through. I don't expect it to. I'm guessing 5.56 will go through, and 308 will not.
Of course, we are 15 meters away. We can always move back a little bit to kind of test that out, but I'm right there with you. I think once we get to the heavier rifle rounds, I think that's definitely going to have more impact.
So I honestly think the opposite. I think 5.56 will dent it or just fall off, and the 308 will put a hole in it. This
Okay.
is my thought. I think 22 will probably just get lodged in the Kevlar.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just shot the plate carrier with 22, and we're gonna go check it out.
Well, the pumpkins are completely intact.
Yep.
Where the fuck are the impacts?
Here.
One here, one here.
Yeah, even when it impacted over the steel plate, it did not go through the Kevlar.
Nope. So no penetration on the plate or Kevlar,
Wait,
as to be expected with 22. The pumpkins are completely intact.
Holy shit! It went through the outer Kevlar.
Did it really?
Yeah! This was lodged behind the outer Kevlar.
All right. So scratch what I said. It did penetrate the Kevlar at around 15 meters.
So there's Kevlar in front and there's Kevlar behind.
That has to be really low quality Kevlar though, because to stop even like a 9mm bullet.
I mean, here you go. Here's some.
There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
So
If you
we
want to
did-
zoom in on that, you can see right here where one of the slugs is lodged in. So yeah. Even 22, you're not particularly safe.
Russian quality.
Yeah. Shall we step it up to 9mm?
Let's
Yep.
go.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna start off with some 9mm standard Magtech target ammo, and then we'll move on to some of the more spicy 9mm that we have with us.
This stuff right here. I'm very interested to see how this works.
Yeah. I want to see what kind of pattern we get on the plate from that, because I don't think it's going to go through, but because it's brass and brass has a tendency to explode when it hits something hard, you might have fragments or scratches all along the plate, but we'll see.
Yeah, and especially after what we saw with the 22
Oh,
and
yeah.
how that penetrated the Kevlar right away, and with this being just standard target load brass ammunition from the standard 9mm, I'm definitely interested to see how this holds up. I don't think it's going to penetrate the steel at all, but I think the Kevlar is definitely going to see a serious impact.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we just finished shooting it with the 9mm standard Magtech match or target ammo. So far, pumpkins are still safe. There has been no penetration through the steel. We're going to open this up and check and see if the Kevlar caught anything. Oh yeah, here we go.
Ooh.
So we can see some evidence of spalding here, and obvious penetration of the first layer of Kevlar, and the plate caught it. But yes, as you can see with all this loose brass that's been shredded, like so. But luckily, I think all of the spalding was captured within this little pocket here. But what do you guys think?
I mean, it seems to be stopping fragments from coming up into the dude's neck at least, but
Yeah. But actually, no.
Okay, so yeah, you have maybe some penetration here
Yeah.
from it, but kind of hard to tell.
Those are dents.
Almost, yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little dent.
Yep,
I actually think this might be worse than the old armor.
it could be.
Because like the old armor 545 wouldn't even dent it, it just marked it.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's 545. I mean,
Yeah, right?
But
Wow.
should we test out the fun
Yeah.
stuff?
yeah. Now we're getting to the special pistol rounds.
All right, we'll move a little bit closer for that one. Okay, so here's our 2 impact points. The pumpkins are safe. No damage at all to the pumpkins, so the steel obviously stopped it. But looking in here, it's kind of hard to tell, but obviously the first layer of Kevlar did not stop it. And I don't see a lot of frag or spalding either, because obviously being brass, it completely obliterated when it impacted the steel. But if you look here,
Those are your impacts.
these are the 2 impacts.
Are they any deeper than the other ones?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot more. I mean, you can see here,
You can see the tip.
you can see where the tips of those rounds hit. Pretty interesting. But yeah,
I mean, if you're wearing soft body armor only, like level 3A,
you're screwed.
yeah.
That would have gone right through.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So, but I will say, compared to just shooting the target loads from MagTech, compared to that, I mean, it cycled very smooth, but obviously that had a lot more power behind it. You could feel it when you shot it.
So up next, we're going to shoot the plates with some 5.56. This is a Bushmaster Dissipator AR-15 with a 16-inch barrel.
and this is not a PTR 91. This is a G3 FS. Yeah, G3 FS. So this is an original HK G3 semi-auto.
Oh no, you got some impacts here.
Okay.
The pumpkins are still intact though, I think.
We'll see.
Oh,
It did not penetrate.
what's that? Hey, look.
Oh wait, here we go.
Ooh. No, look over there. Oh no, that's just a.
No, there's one did make it through though.
No shit. Was that a high one or a low one?
Look at where it rests. It rests down here.
Well, maybe there's some backface deformation from it.
Yeah, and that.
We'll have to check the steel.
Yeah.
Are you rolling? Okay, so there is a small indentation on the pumpkin. It's hard to tell if that's backface deformation or if it was an actual penetration, but we're gonna open it up and check it out. Oh boy. So yeah, internally this thing got obliterated from, or at least the Kevlar. It's torn to shreds now, and the plate. There is nothing on the back side of the plate, so the steel caught all the ammo. So I don't think this is an actual penetration. I think it was just a rotten piece of the pumpkin. So we'll have to see if 308 penetrates.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to come over on this side, so you can see obvious penetration. We'll check the backside as well, but
See the steel plate.
yep, obviously shredded that. Oh yeah.
Smoking. No shit.
No penetration on the plate at all.
Wow.
So must have impacted somewhere and deflected. I don't really know how you were able to get that, but
There's some copper jacket there. I think that's from the 308. Yep.
yeah. But yeah, as you can see here, the steel plate held up against the 308. There's no back face deformation, but obviously the fragmentation from the rounds hitting the plate did shred up, and you can see over here there was some penetration through the fabric at some point.
Spalding.
Some balding. So yeah, but overall the steel held up. I'm pretty surprised actually.
Thoughts? I'm honestly, after the steel stopped the 5.56, I was not that surprised that it stopped the 7.62 NATO. I would like to have tested this with some proper armor piercing rounds, at least a mild steel core, or ideally like a hardened tungsten penetrator. I do not think it would have held up against that. Honestly, this sort of performance from a steel plate is fairly typical, but I mean, it technically works, which for Russia I guess is good enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised actually. I actually thought that the G3 was going to penetrate the steel, but I mean, props to whoever made the steel plate. They did a good job, but ultimately I think the spalding and the fragmentation is going to be too much for you to handle at some point, especially if you get hit multiple times. The Kevlar inside was just completely obliterated, so I don't think it's going to stop the spalding from reaching your face or other extremities.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I thought it would go through, but I still would not want to be the watermelon.
No, I definitely don't want to be on the receiving end on any of the things we tested today.
What I will say about it is, when it comes to wraparound frag protection, I would actually be quite worried about it not stopping a lot of shrapnel, because the 22 long rifle was going through the outer layers of Kevlar and didn't seem to struggle too much with that. So
That's a really good point, and you also mentioned that fragmentation is probably the number one thing that you guys are dealing with.
Well, it's
overwhelmingly, almost every single casualty is blast and frag.
right.
It's-
There is an argument to be made that maybe plates aren't meant for this war. I know I've talked to some old boomers about it, and we've all sometimes going back and forth. Because I mean, like 90% of casualties are casualties from artillery or some kind of indirect fire weapon, right?
Yeah.
So I would be remiss to have like steel level 4 plates and shitty side armor, and would rather honestly go for level 3 plates and good side armor if I had to pick one of the two. But that's my personal preference.
No, and that's something that we'll do when we do our kit breakdown. We'll kind of go into what you guys are wearing and why you have it set up the way you do, and if you wanted to make it better, how would you do so?
Yep.